Hello and welcome to your 11th Java programming tutorial. In this programming tutorial, I will be elaborating on the topic of arrays. So, I figure we can just jump right into this. For this tutorial, we don't need any imports, and I just basically set up the main thing, So, let's get started. So, in the last tutorial, I showed you that you can make an int called, say, x equals new int 3. And that gives you three different undefined integers inside the variable x at x0, x1, and x2. And I also talked about how you can go int y equals, and then set this up like this, and you can do like 6, 2, and 8. So, that's what we learned on the last tutorial. And I'm going to be teaching you something different now. Suppose you want to make the game of chess. In the game of chess, you have a board that has 8 by 8. So it's got 64 squares in total. So you want to make a array that will have one number to tell you the row and another number to tell you the column. The way you do that is you go int, and you have to add 2 of these. It's called a two-dimensional array because it has 2 factors. It's kind of like a grid, like an XY grid, except it only has the integers and only one of the quadrants. So the way you could do this is int, for example, z equals new int, and then you can go 8, and there's an error there because I need to add another one of these. You need to define both lengths. So also you can go, I'm going to make a new integer a, and it's going to be a double array, and it will equal, you can define it the same way basically as this. What you do is you add these parentheses, and inside those parentheses you have sets of parentheses, like parentheses, comma, space, parentheses, comma, space, parentheses. So I'm going to make a 3 by 3. So it's going to have, in the first set, there'll be 1 and 2 and 3. In the next set, you'll have 4, 5, and 6. And in the next set, you will have 7, 8, and 9. So you'll have 3 columns. The top column will have 1, 2, and 3. And then the next column will have 4, 5, and 6. And the next column will have 7, 8, and 9. And, for example, if you want to get one of these columns, you would have to go to Java, like, it would be 0 through 2, and 0 through 2. And that would be how you would, get that. And so, yeah. Now I'm going to show you something, is that you can make as many of these as you want. You can make a 5-dimensional array, call it B, and it will equal new integer array of 5 dimensions, and you can make it 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. I actually don't know what the 5th dimension is off the top of my head, but it might come in handy programming something like that. So one thing you can't do is you can't do like int g equals new int I. So since we haven't had an integer I, I'm going to make int I equals 9. So this actually works because, well, it won't work in most case scenarios, but that works because I doesn't change at all. But when you run the program, this I variable can't have anything to do with user input. This program has to know what I is going to be before it runs the program. So you can't import scanner and all that stuff and have a variable I that you import. It just doesn't work. Because when your compiler takes this piece of code and converts it into like binomial and stuff the computer can understand, it has to know how much room it's going to take up, like how much RAM, because a longer array will obviously take up more space on your computer. So actually, if you want to do that, you can use lists, but those are a little complicated, so I'm going to leave them till a later tutorial, at least like 10 tutorials at least. So if you really want to know that, you can contact me and I will get back to you. But until then, that's it for this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.